From Hurricane High School in Hurricane, West Virginia, the Region 1 Girls 19 and Under U.S. Youth Soccer Championships are on the net. Hello, everyone. I am Marky Bilson, giving you this game for the Turbo Sports Network between McLean 96 Green out of Virginia and Vincent United Pride out of eastern Pennsylvania. McLean Green out of northern Virginia near the D.C. suburbs. And thankfully, these two teams are wearing pretty much the colors that you would expect. Green, McLean, in their white and green uniforms. So that's not always the case. There are teams named red that wear blue. And meanwhile, Vincent United, the Pride, wearing a darker uniform, perhaps a bit reminiscent of Penn State from their Pennsylvania roots. However, these people hail from the eastern part of the state where Nittany Lion Pride perhaps not as prevalent as it is in central Pennsylvania, and certainly not all that prevalent, certainly not prevalent at all for midfielder Claire Bean, who is a backup and certainly sitting on the bench right now for McLean. Well, she's going to the University of Pittsburgh, so you know that she doesn't like that Penn State colors. Meanwhile, McLean's Christy Schnurr, who's not with us today, she'd like it quite a lot. She's going to Penn State. But we are here. I'll try to get you the starting lineups as quickly as we can. The Pride from Pennsylvania use a 3-5-2 alignment, as do the Virginians. We have a corner kick here from the far side, so just getting underway. 40-minute periods here in this 19 and under game. There will be no overtime. If it is decided and kicked away here by McLean, so they'll have a chance to try to set it up again. They could not get a header on net against Vincent United keeper Julie Hernan, who is going to St. Francis, Pennsylvania. That's a school right outside of Johnstown, PA, Loretto, PA to be exact, Division I school, mid-major, that is located, as I said, outside of Johnstown, maybe 60 miles east of Pittsburgh, western Pennsylvania. Meanwhile, the keeper is Kayla White. She's uncommitted for McLean. It's 19 and under, and she was born on the second day of July in 2001, so she's 15. Outstanding prospect. We'll be giving you the colleges that these wonderful players are going, as we'll have a ball goes out of bounds, and we'll have a throw in here. So the red flash, Julia Hernan will be throwing the ball into play. Try to give you the forwards. We know that Laura Benner for Vincent United, going to Westchester, is one of them, and I'm looking through my roster. Mackenzie Groff going to Ursinus is the other, as Vincent United with possession. With the ball right now is Molly McCarg, one of the defenders, along with Shannon McGinnis, Kira Dubo, and Jessica Keller. The midfield for Vincent United Pride, Emily Keck, Riley McGinnis, Caroline Thompson, Olivia Termini. Now, I realize that I just gave you, I said beforehand, we have 5 midfielders for Vincent United, and I am going by what the roster lists here, as I'm trying to see what midfielder here before I give you. Keller is 18. She's obviously, I think, one of the midfielders. She's sort of a back defender. But now this is an opportunity right now for McLean, and it was, in fact, McCarg that broke that one up as a shot averted by number 41, Jarena Harmon, Washington, D.C. native, going to Maryland. She's a Terrapin. Looking at it, McLean seems to have the bigger school players, if you will, players going to Virginia Tech, LSU, Pitt, Duke, George Mason, Wake Forest, Maryland, St. John's, Harvard, Penn State, although not in Virginia Commonwealth, the Nittany Lion, Lady Lion, Christy Schnurr, and the two Virginia Commonwealth players, Stahl and Suarez, I'm told, are not here. This kick goes in! Congratulations to McLean's number 16, Samantha Scafati, the St. John's product. Now, before you could set the lineup, McLean takes a 1-0 advantage. Looking. So kind of a lazy goal right there. Here's the kickoff. And McLean, as I said, with the advantage, probably with players who are going to bigger colleges, if you will. Now, Vincent United, no slouch there. In fact, one of their defenders, Layla Worley, who is not in the starting lineup today, is going to the University of South Carolina. We'll set their lineup here. Again, a 3-5-2. Keeper, as we said, was Julia Hernan. And as I look here, I can tell you their strikers, Mackenzie Groff and Lauren Benner. Groff going to Ursinus, and Westchester is where Benner goes to. For the midfielders, Emily Keck, Riley McGinnis, Olivia Terminini, and Caroline Thompson. And a list 4 midfielders I'm giving me, even though they say they line in the 3-5-2s. We have another scoring opportunity here, first for McLean, as this shot knocked away by Hernan. Hernan with the cover up there. The initial shot that wasn't necessarily incredibly strong. You can see that she was trying for that upper outside corner. Give credit to Sarah Grace DeGuyer for that one. Excuse me, I already gave you Vincent United Pride, so I'm very sorry about that. Let me give you now the McLean. They're up 1-0. I am very sorry about giving you the starting lineup again for Vincent United, down 1-0. Here we go. The keeper is Kayla White. Again, as I said, very outstanding, and she has the ball right now. Only 15 years old, but playing on a 19 and under team. Now the forwards are Ayan Adu and Jarena Harmon for McLean. Midfielders, Audrey Denkler, Christina Diana, Madeline McCracken, Samantha Scafati, and here we see Vincent United trying to kick the ball out but keeping possession. It's one of the left midfielders trying to get a crossing pass over to the striker, but it does not fall in. Harmon wearing 41. They were trying to get the ball to her. But now Vincent United has it as Caroline Thompson kicks it away, the high school junior. So not every player on this 19 and under team is playing college soccer now. A few promising prospects. This shot taken by the keeper, Hernan. And give credit to Madeline McCracken for that. Or excuse me, Krista Diana, as they have changed jersey numbers. Diana came to the tournament wearing 22. She now wears 91. Madeline McCracken came in wearing 91. She wears 22. Or at least that's what it says on the roster. Again, for McLean Green, I give you the forwards, and Adu as well as Harmon. The midfielders, let's set this up again. Denkler Diana, wearing 91. McCracken Scafidi. Ele Abu Hawa is the defender. Sarah Grace DeGuyer. Hannah Natterson. And the midfielders, once again, Scafati McCracken. Mary Hamilton, I think, is the one that I missed. Christina Diana. And Audrey Denkler. Is trying to get the ball out to Harmon, who wears 41. But this is a player who's gotten a lot of touches as the ball goes out of bounds, as it was initially played by Sarah Grace DeGoyer, Virginia Tech product. Throwing the ball in now. That's Hannah Natterson. She plays for the Crimson. Harvard. One nothing, our score. The time not being kept on the field. I'm trying to keep track of it as best I can here. And I would say we're about 12 minutes into a 40-minute first half. 1-0. Early goal scored by Samantha Scafidi. Scafidi. So McLean, as we mentioned earlier, really a lot of big-name players. Now, you see the ball here being played towards the side as, again, the left midfielder, number 7, Sarah Grace DeGoyer. You can see that the Virginia Tech product is really getting yeoman's work, if you will. Natterson trying to get crossing pass, but the Pride defense is right there. Mentioned a little bit about the Nittany Lion type of look to Vincent United Pride, and Lions go into a Pride. So, but again, these girls are from, and I guess some of them are over 18, so I should say these women, females, I guess, is the politically correct term. Many of them going to colleges around their native eastern Pennsylvania. We'll tell you when they have the ball. And for instance, right now the Pride will have a throw-in here. The center of the field from Jessica Keller going to St. Francis. A red flash, alma mater of Maurice Stokes. Basketball player who was actually crippled. He hit his head on the floor and caused some brain damage. It was an outstanding player in the 50s. And over in Loretto, PA, home of St. Francis, their basketball arena is named after Maurice Stokes. The young, outstanding keeper, White, not a big kick there. McLean with a 1-0 advantage, and they're willing to work the ball up the field. Time unofficial, but we're about 15 minutes into a 20-minute period. I know you don't see the clock on your Turbo Sports screen there. We have to keep it here on the field. 40-minute halves. Outstanding ball play right there, and kicking it to the center and kicking it out here is the Pride. Some nice play there by Adu, the Virginia Cavalier, and a save here by Hernan of the Pride. They mentioned that both Keller and Hernan play for St. Francis, so does Shannon McGinnis on Vincent United. Now, St. Francis not really near the Parker Ford home of Vincent United, but nevertheless, still in the Commonwealth. I guess I should say Pennsylvania. These are both Commonwealths, Virginia and Pennsylvania, aren't they? I guess it's all semantics, the difference between a Commonwealth and a state. Again, it's DeGoyer. Centering pass, though, and tied up again. Harmon, that's the player they want to get it to, number 41. This is DeGoyer. And she is being guarded very well by number 18, Jessica Keller. Keller just celebrated a birthday, or she will be celebrating a birthday very shortly, in a few weeks. She was born on the 19th. She'll be turning 19. This one is for a trip to Frisco, Texas, in the National Championships of Region 1. Region 1, the Northeast, as we get ready for a Julia Hernan kick. Low liner. And it goes out of bounds, and so McLean is going to have possession. Let's give you the officials today. It is Michelle Krull, head official. AR1 is Katie Highsmith. AR2, Elena Dauphiné. And the fourth official is Hannah Geithner. So an all-female officiating crew for a 19 and under girls game. Rather appropriate. It's Keller. And again, McLean not giving much, so Keller decides she's going to kick it longer. Found Lauren Benner, but possession right now in the center of the field, almost. And McLean, who's had the majority of possession time lately, will again take possession. Players from Region 1, 19 under champion Smithtown walking past me as Hernan makes the save and will be punting it away. Hamilton, number 15, Mary Hamilton, George Mason product. And the ball goes out of bounds. Heard Nadir Momin, who is the head coach of McLean, his team up 1-0, and again it'll be Julia Hernan kicking off as she's done so often today. We're about halfway through the first half. 1-0 McLean. A goal by Scaffini. Samantha Scaffini from the rather prestigious or large Washington, D.C. suburb of Silver Spring, Maryland. So someone from the Old Lyme State playing for a team representing the Old Dominion, albeit the northern part of it. Talk about the grand divisions of Tennessee, East, Middle, and West. Certainly Pennsylvania would have the same, only they like to, instead of saying East, It's eastern, western, and central, certainly not middle in Pennsylvania. Well, Virginia is getting the same way. There's northern Virginia and there's the rest of the state. Northern Virginia, Fairfax, Vienna, those areas. McLean, that's a somewhat independent area away from the culture, perhaps, of Richmond or the southwestern part of the state, or the Commonwealth, if you prefer. And here come the Virginians again, crossing past. And a shot. Scafini trying for his second goal, but it's knocked away. Scafidi. McCracken is the midfielder trying to get it up, and here is McCracken again. But she cannot get a shot off. Well, the ball kicked away. No, she could not get a shot off. There's Hannah Glass, who is a substitution. Going to Philadelphia University, who kicked the ball away. Hannah, now Philly U is a D2 school. That's where she's going to. I believe it used to be known as Philadelphia Textile. And yet again, another opportunity for Hernan. We're halfway through first half. McLean with a 1-0 lead. Samantha Scafidi with the goal. Really something of a lazy kick. As Hernan just was not in position to stop it. It bounced into the net in the early part of the game. And the Pride, Vincent United, really has had some trouble getting possession. And here we see another run. This is Scafidi, and she tries to center. Krista Diana wearing 91. The ball kicked away there by one of the better defenders, Jessica Keller, who has really done a great job of marking de Guyer. And Hernan with another save. Her punt travels 36 yards. Goes right to McLean. This game was scheduled to kick off at 9 o'clock. The action here from Hurricane started at 7:30 today. The 19 and under game and the Region 1 19 and under boys champion, Smithtown from Long Island, New York. We are in Hurricane, West Virginia. This game originally scheduled to be played in Barbersville, West Virginia. That's where the complex was, but yesterday was a very rainy day, and even this field is a little bit, this pitch is a little bit wet. It has the field turf, and maybe a faster game, the coaches tell me, a little bit slicker on the field turf than we would normally have. As that ball gets past number 65, Hannah Nattison. And so finally, the outstanding keeper, Kayla White, we had forgotten about her, the 15-year-old keeper, gets some action. Keller playing defense against de Guyer. Pride trying to keep it in their own end. And here kicking it out of bounds for the Pride is Olivia Termini, the Dickinson PA product. I think Dickinson is an outstanding law school not far from Harrisburg. It's in Carlisle, PA, if memory serves. I think Rick Santorum. Many politicians have gone there. I want to say James Buchanan, that was his alma mater. I'm not quite sure of it. The 15th end. We have the clock now, so you can see we're 26 minutes in. See how well I was doing. At the time, not being kept on a clock on the field here. Boy, if this is official time we have there on our clock, I got to tell you something. I'm pretty good. I'm only 5 seconds back of it here and keeping it with myself. Can they get the ball in the center of the net? Good Pride defense as they've been playing this way all day long. And a ball blocked away. It's the player they've been trying to get it to, Arena Harmon, the Maryland product, the striker. One of two along with Ayana Du in the starting lineup. But here we'll have a corner. And this one will be kicked by the goal scorer, Scafidi. Up and down, got the wall. It's a bit long and it'll go out of bounds. This field, as you can tell, not a traditional soccer field, it's a football field. It's where the Hurricane Redskins play. So perhaps McLean feels right at home with that, but you may have been able to see, you might get a glimpse of one of the scoreboards here, which is not turned on underneath the American flag, and you can see that center logo. It is with the H in the middle. It's reminiscent of when the Washington Redskins had on their helmet in, I believe, 1971, an R with, that's when they went from the sort of burgundy helmet with a design similar to what Florida State wears now to their popular logo that they have now that they incorporated, I believe, in 1972, and they made the Super Bowl for the first time that year, and so ever since then I think they've decided to keep it. But here in Hurricane, they like that George Allen just got here look just fine. Hurricane High School is the alma mater of Doc Holliday, not the, as we have a kick that goes wide here. Doc Holliday, not the ally of Wyatt Earp in the shootout at the OK Corral, but rather the Marshall football coach. And we are only a few miles away from the Marshall campus. In fact, some of the regional games are being played at Marshall right now. Only about, I'd say 20 miles maybe from, give or take one or two, from Huntington, West Virginia. And we're about halfway between Charleston and Huntington. Right on Interstate 64. So Charleston and Huntington are the two biggest cities in West Virginia. And they get it to the big striker going to Maryland, and she gives it to a teammate. That is Diana. Diana's kick cannot find the net. And there is the outstanding defender kicking it away again for Vincent United. While McLean gets a chance to set up again, give credit to Keller for getting the ball out of harm's way just about a minute ago. Long shot taken by White. We're in our last 10 minutes here in Hurricane. Alternative site. Again, there was a lot of rain earlier. Now, not enough to call out an arc or anything. The name Hurricane may give a little bit more, but it is a cloudy day right now. Somewhat cool for the summer. And now here's an opportunity for the Pride, but McLean with two defenders on the midfielders, so they're going to have to try it again. Keeping the ball in for United is number 19, Kira Dubo, the Strasbourg product, but McLean now with possession. Here's an opportunity. Great individual play right there, and another shot off. Great save by Hernan. Give credit there to Diana, Christina Diana, the Hokie Virginia Tech product, showing a lot of individual skill right there. Really blossomed in 1v1 situations, got a shot on goal, but the St. Francis product is true to the challenge. Here's an opportunity. Ball goes out of bounds, and so great individual play right there, and another shot off. Great save by Hernan. Give credit there to Diana. We're going to have a substitution here for Vincent United. Coming into the game, Victoria Pinnell is going to Salisbury, school in Maryland. Pinnell wearing number 8. I'm trying to do a quick search of who's coming in and who's coming out. And we have another substitution right now for Vincent United. It's coming out, well, Keller is coming out, as is Groff. Keller has played a fantastic game so far. Coming in, Emily Schramm, University of Scranton product. Quickly try to see the other player here. The sub table, I think, well, no, that's... Halo Worley, the South Carolina product I told you about earlier, is now onto the game. So nice footwork there from number 22, Madeline McCracken. And now this is Diana. Diana being heavily guarded, and it used to be Keller's spot right there for Vincent United. But instead, Molly McHarg, high school junior, pushing the play out of bounds, and so their keeper, Hernan, will once again get a chance to kick it away. We're in the closing stages of the first half. 1-0 McLean with the advantage. Well, this is Keller. She's on the field again. So I didn't quite make the substitution. They're being made to the other side of the field. And I know that might not be an excuse to not necessarily know who is coming in. But again, for Vincent United, you get the feeling that the player from South Carolina, Worley, and that's number 5. So this is Bean. Bean to Barnes, 31-18 when you see that. Roughly 25 minutes to play in this game. At least in regulation, there will be no overtime periods. That is the younger McGinnis. She's born in 98. Riley McGinnis. She's going to Army, number 21 for the Pride. Other D1 players, the midfielder, number 2 for the Pride, is going to Coastal Carolina. Chancelloteers, the national champions in baseball this year, the College World Series, defeating Arizona. I can't believe no one has talked about when they're talking about, oh, isn't it wonderful for the Chancelloteers to win the College World Series out of the Big South. I can't believe nobody has talked about Jim Hound Dog Presley. I date myself, but I actually, as a high school player, had 2 teammates who wanted desperately to play at Coastal Carolina because it was the alma mater of Jim Hound Dog Presley, a third baseman for the Seattle Mariners. So nicknamed by Chris Berman. And we mentioned that because of Emily Keck, the midfielder for Vincent United, going to Coastal Carolina. But right now this is Diana, although she is being heavily guarded right there among them. Keller. Shot on goal. This is Scafidi, but it goes wide. Scafidi with the only goal today, as we're about 3/4 of the way through this one. And McLean with the 1-0 advantage. White, the keeper for McLean, standing 30 yards out, or actually 40 yards out of her net. A sub as Barnes is coming out for McLean and coming in to play the midfield. As soon as I can get the number here. That's Mary Hamilton, George Mason product. She's wearing 15. Throw the ball in. This is Scafidi. Scafidi takes the long shot. It goes wide. Hernan with yet another kick back. And you get the feeling here she's going to try to kick deep. Now we saw basically she had a range of maybe, say 35 yards, give or take. There's no wind right here. Let's see what she can do from the ground. Kicks have generally been kind of low liners. And this one is no exception. Again, it goes about what I told you, but here comes Diana for McLean. This is DeGoyer. Hernan is there again. Here they come. This is Diana with the steal. Can she put it away? Heavily guarded by McInnes. The ball is blocked by Hernan and kicked away by the Pride. Vincent United. McLean will be able to throw the ball in. Trying to find the player who kicked it away and really got Vincent United, kept them in the game with that kick. And that is Dubo, Kira Dubo with the kick. Throwing the ball in for McLean here is Abu Hawa. She's from Vienna, Virginia. So a lot of times you see the soccer player, they're from suburban communities, McLean. In this case for Vincent United, Parker Ford, PA, outside of Philadelphia. This is Diana, shot blocked. And Hernan says, mine, I'll kick it away. We're past the halfway point of the second half. Right now we don't figure to have much extra time. There hasn't been an injury or any real. Here's Abu with great individual footwork. She appears to be a fine one-on-one player, or 1v1 player as the terminology is. I guess I should say that McLean leads not 1-0 but 1-0. 1-0 for again. McInnes, a great defense. This is DeGoyer. DeGoyer, the shot is true! From about 15 yards out, although the kick much longer. Sarah Grace DeGoyer, the Virginia Tech product, may have salted this one away. Again, McInnes, a great defense. This is DeGoyer. DeGoyer, the shot is true! That goal has been scored. From about 2-0, 15 yards out, although the kick much longer. Now, I would say that although Vincent United getting the ball here in their own territory, or in opponent's territory, although McLean now controls it, there may be a need for a penalty kick or so for Vincent United to get back in it. I'm not saying that with any assurance. I'm just reminded of the France-Iceland game, a couple in the Euros 2 days ago, and how France took an early 4-0 lead, and Iceland was briefly able to get back into it with a penalty kick, make it 4-1, an eventual 5-2 defeat. But this is Scafidi. Scafidi almost had the angle right there, but some great defense from Vincent United's number 7, Hannah Glass. And some nice defense right there as well. It's 2-0, but keep in mind, Vincent United, who has not had much possession time, they've played a fine... This game could be a lot more lopsided if it weren't for the outstanding defenders of Vincent United. The officials for our next game running past us. We have another female game, and it's another all-female staff. Officiating crew, I should say. Region 1, it's the Northeast. There, the ball to Hamilton. The clock will continue to tick away and bring McLean even closer to a potential championship. Not if Herndon has anything to say about it. Secret weapon for Vincent United, I would say, when they put in, if they do number 5, defender Lahela Worley. Now, I know defender, the defense has played very well even without her, but a South Carolina product, and I've got to think that would allow Vincent United, and that's the biggest school, really, South Carolina, that any of the players are on the team are going to, and I would suggest to you that she's on the team. That might add a spark when you're going to the largest college. Not that the other players, certainly St. Francis has made quite a statement that they have good soccer players here, a mid-major in Loretto, PA, just outside of Johnstown. The Red Flash. This is Abu. Abu displaying the great 1v1 skills. Can she get a shot off? Centering pass goes wide. Could not get the ball to the striker, Jarena Harmon, going to Maryland. And Harmon was a player that McLean tried to feed the ball to many times early on in the game, but since then, goals by Scafidi and DeGuyer. In fact, coming out of the game now will be Adu. And who comes in for McLean with their 2-0 advantage? Carino Castillo. I mentioned how in the case of Lahela Worley, she was a player going to South Carolina, and we were talking about gender-neutral nicknames. South Carolina's women's teams traditionally were called the Lady Gamecocks, and I know that marketing companies are trying to do away with that. Now, Mercer used to be known as the Teddy Bears. Castillo, the men's team was the Bears, and Teddy Bears. We have some changes here, and I see... Try to get these for you here quickly. That is the South Carolinian, Lahela Worley, touching the ball, and she's one of the newcomers, along with Victoria Pinnell, who goes to Salisbury, Maryland. Coming out was Lauren Benner, the Westchester product, as was Hannah Glass. And so, briefly, Pride down 2-0. Well, they've got the ball in enemy territory, but the other team has it. McLean. If it was hockey, they'd say it's time for some forechecking. Scafidi pushing the ball ahead, trying to center it. 1-on-1, the ball in the air, open net, and does that one go in? A header? It does! Well, they'd been trying to feed it to Jarena Harmon all day game long, and I think she just salted this one away. Scafidi pushing the ball ahead. No fault there to Hernan, who's played a fine game. Center it. She had to come out and the ball in the air, open net, and does that one go in? A header? It does! But she was outnumbered. Well, they'd been trying to feed it, and when on this wet surface, the ball slickness, among other things, got past, staying with the play. Some nice individual effort was Harmon, and the Maryland Terrapin with the header on a loose ball in an empty net, making it 3-0. About 10 minutes left. $3-0 our score. McLean again with possession. We're 10 minutes to play now. 40-minute periods, halves if you will. Should Vincent United produce a late rally, if it was a tie game, say 3-3, we would not have an overtime. We will go straight to a penalty kick shootout. But right now, I mean, the best way to put it would be, and I'm sure the people watching here on the Turbo Sports Network know this, this is something like a 21-0 football game. And yes, we may have seen some comebacks down with less than 10 minutes from 21-point deficits in the NFL. That's a lot to ask in U.S. youth soccer. Not impossible. And really what they need is some deep balls, to be honest with you, Vincent United. They just have not been able to get possession for really any amount of time in this game. Diana with the centering kick, and there, one of the outstanding defenders for Vincent United, really, and showing some nice footwork there. The ball's going to go out of bounds. It's the black line, remember. And that is Caroline Thompson. Some nice skills there by Thompson. So really, if it is McLean going to the national champions, although they haven't had some good, much possession time, I can easily say McLean will truly, if this lead holds up, be defeating a fine defensive team. Backline has really proven themselves for Vincent United, even down 3-0. like to give you some of the sponsors here on the Turbo Sports Network. The Positive Coaching Alliance, Toyota, which is the official automobile of U.S. Youth Soccer, Wilson Trophy Company, the official awards, medals, and pin supplier. The National Soccer Coaches Association of America is the official sponsor of U.S. Youth Soccer. Liberty Mutual Insurance, the official auto, home, life, and workers' compensation insurance. And, of course, the Turbo Sports Group, the official video streaming production company of U.S. Youth Soccer broadcasts. Other sponsors include Nike, the official supplier of U.S. Youth Soccer, Bubba Burger, the official family fun burger, Kohl's, the official department store of U.S. Youth Soccer, the National Mango Board. They're an official snack of U.S. Youth Soccer. MLS is an official grassroots partner. And Nestle Nesquik is the official post-game drink of U.S. Soccer. So we ask that you patronize all of them. And if you're watching on replay, then rewind and write it down. That's what I can remember Howard Stern talking about it. And he knew his listeners were very loyal. And of course I want you to buy these products. I want you to buy my... If it's this kind of tuna fish that's sponsoring my show, I want you to buy that. So we want you to check out the latest Toyotas and go to Nestle Quick and such things. Eat mangoes. Now that's some good eating. The B12 shots they provide will probably be necessary for Vincent United to get back into this one, as we are less than 5 minutes remaining, and extra time figures to be Spartan, if any. I can't really recall any. There have been some substitutions, but I can't remember really any injury or delay to give extra time. Perhaps a couple after goals. For instance, here a ball goes over the fence, but they've got another one here to throw in. And McLean, who has just dominated possession. But there you have a chance to call Victoria Pinnell's name. Some size of the middle. Boy, the skies here are threatening. And I think that a lot of people would like to see this game end, and this may cause some extra time right here as the ball goes over the fence. But before the rains come down from the heavens, I think they'd like to get this one over. McLean, and they've just got to get possession here. They've just got to be able to steal a ball here. And there's a South Carolina product giving chase, but she just cannot get to it. McLean is showing exceptional passing abilities here to preserve their 3-0 lead. And now they have it in enemy territory. One of the goal scorers, Harmon, is able to kick it back. Mary Hamilton, and there, an attempt for McLean, certainly Karina Castillo, the Mercer product. I don't know if they still call them the teddy bears, but in one generation they did, and I'm still partial to the gender identification of nicknames. I always thought that the Mercer teddy bears were... I always thought that was a wonderful nickname. Stephen F. Austin was the Lumberjacks and the Lumberjills for their women's team. Hernan. and I felt something on the back of my head as I'm standing outside. We have a tent here that I can go under, so it's not as if I'm risking electrocution if I broadcast this game to you or anything, but we'll have a throw in here on the final stages of the game. As you can see, we head to the game's final minute before McLean figures to be the Region 1 champion. And they'll go to Frisco, Texas in the end of the month to play for a national championship. And, well, that is going to do it. Our clock was a little bit off. And sure enough, just as the rains come down from the heavens, McLean wins the Region 1 championship. 3-0 against Vincent United Pride. Here are the goal scorers. Very early on in the game, a loose ball goal almost for Samantha Scafidi. The St. John's product put her team up 1-0, and really McLean just dominated possession time against Vincent United. In the second half, about halfway through, it was Sarah Grace DeGoyer, the Virginia Tech product, who had a fine game. She put her team up 2-0, and then with 10 minutes left, a striker from Washington, D.C. that really, for most of the game, when she was on the field, McLean tried to feed it to, and she was able to get a loose ball header into an open net. Jarena Harmon, the Maryland product, salted it away with 10 minutes left, a 3-0 advantage. So congratulations, McLean 96 Green. You're going to Texas at the end of the month. The Region 1 19 and under girls 2016 Youth Soccer Championships. Well, I am Marky Bilson, and for my producer, Nick Case, cameraman Heath Turner, and Clay Demick, congratulations again to McLean, the Region 1 champions, here on the Turbo Sports Network.